for a little bit of new snow. But let's talk temperatures out of the gate, because we have cold air bracing the nation. And so really what this is you have just an Arctic air mass up by the poles, up into Siberia. And when you have an Arctic outbreak that sinks south, and what makes that sink south is that there's this polar vortex that usually stays by the poles. It weakens, and so it allows those colder, or I should say allows the colder air to start to sink farther south. So that's what we're dealing with right now. Air that has really originated up into Siberia. So it is the frozen tundra across a good portion of not just the Great Lakes, but nationally, where Texas has some snow. So Houston 20, 25 in New Orleans, 15 in Atlanta. We sit at 3 below. In fact, we're a degree colder than even Marquette, that's reporting 2 below zero for actual air temperature. It's been a while since we've been this cold. So if we were to hit 5 below zero at Metro Airport, which we're only 2 degrees shy of that, then we will have not hit that since January 29th, 2022. So it's been 3 years since we've been close to this mark. Now, that's not even factoring in the winds. Wind chill readings are right around 20 below zero across lower Michigan, 21 below in Howell, 18 below in Adrian, and 19 below over at Metro Airport. So that's why we're dealing with those school closings today, because we're talking about dangerously cold wind chills, and that cold weather advisory is set to lift at noon today. We'll have to see if it gets extended, but we should start to see some improvement midday. Still going to be downright cold, just not quite as extreme. Winter weather alerts, though, now draping portions of Florida up into the Carolinas, and that's from that strong winter storm that rolled through Texas and into portions of the Gulf states yesterday, and now starting to push east off into the Atlantic. So there will be some issues down south if you're traveling that way when it comes to winter weather. Otherwise here, no issues on the roads weather-wise. It's just really, really cold. So cold that if you were to use that wiper fluid, it might even freeze on your windshield, because we are just below that threshold. But we'll talk more about traffic with Darnell in a moment. Actual air temperatures that'll be what your car's telling you. 3 below at Metro, 6 below in Pontiac, 2 below in Grosse Ile, and 4 below in Port Huron, not factoring in those winds. And so we get to about 14 for the afternoon high today, but let me just tell you that 14 will not even feel like 14. We're still going to feel like we're below zero this afternoon. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So as I stop the clock at 5, we're anywhere from about 5 to about 10 below zero for that feels like temperature. It's improvement, but it's still bitterly cold. Now, tomorrow morning, we'll feel like we're right around zero, if not very low single digits. So we're kind of, digging ourselves out of that danger zone when it comes to the cold that just hurts as you step outside. Now, we're going to pair it with some snow chances. So let's talk you through the timeline of this. Now, after sunset, this is a look at 10 o'clock. We get some snow that starts to roll through the area, a little more widespread by about 3, 4 a.m. And we could even take that into the first part of the morning rush hour drive. It's not going to bring a ton of accumulation, but maybe just enough to create a few slick spots, especially given that salt's not quite as effective with these type of temperatures. So we're looking about a ½ inch to an inch. I won't rule out some isolated pockets greater than that up into the thumb. Overall, just a fresh coating of snow. So the forewarned weather alerts through today. We'll lift it tomorrow, given that we're out of the extreme cold, but only low to mid 20s for afternoon highs. Average is 32. We get close to average on Saturday with a high of 30, but we're still going to hover on either side of 30 degrees going into early next week. That's a look at your future forecast.